council. We got folks from various departments of the city. We're at the event center in Brownsville here celebrating our city manager, Helen Ramirez, who will be leaving us soon. She needs to do something else with her career and with her life. Not that she's unhappy. She's very blessed, very happy. It's just, sometimes life will move you in a different direction. And we're blessed to be here celebrating her, celebrating our city of Brownsville, or one city, that marketing brand, one city. That's Helen right there. So we'll be talking with folks who are in, for example, tourism, leisure, tourism, folks who have benefited from working with City Hall, with Helen. We'll be talking about the real estate market. I got my friend Craig Grove. He's speeding his way over here, and we'll talk about the white hot market, real estate market that is Brownsville, Texas, because, hey, we're hot stuff. This is Boomtown, USA with LNG and, of course, our neighbors, SpaceX, Elon Musk, all those wonderful things. So stick around for those conversations. We'll speak with Helen Ramirez, our city manager, and I'll see if I can get our mayor, John Cowan, to join us as well. This is The Drive Home. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Special broadcast coming at you from the Special Event Center in Brownsville. This is The Drive Home. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Let me shift gears, Zach. So we were able to clear traffic, and we got Craig, my buddy Craig Grove from Craig Grove Realty in the studio. I want you come up to the microphone, my brother, about an inch away. And how are you, my man? Good to see you again. Thanks for stopping. One of the reasons that we are on the road and able to get out of the studio is because we have friends of the community who support us, and Craig was one of them. And I said, man, we got to talk about the real estate market in South Texas. So here we go. Earlier today, Craig, I was over in Harlingen. No, let me do the reset. Standard radio. This is The Drive Home. This is News Talk 710 KURV on the radio and online on social media. I'm Sergio Sanchez in for my evil radio genius son, who's driving the ship today. He's at HQ right now, along with producer Freddie. So we're making it. We left the studio thanks to Craig Grove and former mayor for South Padre Island, Barry Patel, and other friends, even Gilbert, anything for Salinas, Gilbert from Brownsville Economic Development, other folks who support us to get over here and help celebrate Helen Ramirez, our city manager in Brownsville, who is going to do something else now. She's moving away from this career as city manager. So we're here with city leadership celebrating at the event center. Okay, so Craig, I was over at the at the campus at TSTC earlier today, and we were there with county leadership. It was the state of the county, and over, you can just imagine the emphasis on job creation. Imagine the emphasis on business activity uh, growing exponentially over the past year or so. And on the horizon, a lot of talks, conversations with like the Harlingen Economic Development Office, with projects like data center and everything linked to that around the corner. My goodness, with 10,000 people between SpaceX here at Brownsville, with 10,000 people or so between SpaceX and liquefied natural gas employment, and another one on the way, and everything else that's at the port, 10,000 new folks around here. Like they got to sleep somewhere, they got to live somewhere. Man, I would imagine that in your industry, in real estate, my goodness, these people need to they need to sleep somewhere. So prices must be going through the roof at the moment. If not, there probably will be in 2026. Because guess what? Comments from Harlingen. We got 10,000 more on the way. More to be hired by LNG, more to be hired by Elon Musk. So the prices must be like sky high right now, right?
No, not really. I don't think the market has really reacted to what's going on, to the the projections.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've seen a lot of kind of stabilizing in the last year or so. So there's a good amount of inventory on the market, a lot of options for buyers. Now, will that remain? I don't know. I think there's a good chance that it's going to change. I mean, if SpaceX alone is supposed to be bringing in 4,000 people, like you mentioned. The LNGs are bringing in about 5,000. They already have a couple thousand here.
Okay.
And then, like you said, Harlingen's bringing in some people too. So it's going to impact
I
us.
want you to hang on to that thought. Tell you what, Zach, I'm going to pitch it back to you. I want to figure out I'm going to get you set up over here. I'm going to get this thing set up. So we'll continue the conversation on the stress, the pressure on the real estate market. Zach, I'm going to throw it back to you. Barry Patel, former mayor for South Padre Island, joined me a couple of days back. He is very thankful for the leadership at City Hall in Brownsville. Very thankful for Helen Ramirez. He's got a major project that's coming to the city here very soon. So let me share that conversation. Here's former mayor for South Padre Island, Barry Patel, who also owns lots of hotels in the area. Go. One of the pillars in our community, in business, and also political leadership, former mayor for South Padre, Barry Patel, joining us on this day that we honor Helen Ramirez, our city manager for the city of Brownsville. She's done a really good job over the past several years. Let's start there, Mayor. I know you've had plenty of conversations with City Hall in Brownsville. You got a wonderful new facility, new hotel that's coming up here pretty soon, probably one of several more that we need near future. So let's start with your thoughts and anyway, just what you'd like to say about our city manager, Helen Ramirez, as she's moving on to better things.
Well, good morning, everyone. Me and my family and my business people in my company have met with Helen so many times in the last year and a half. We first met her about 4 or 5 years ago, and her persistence to do everything she can for the city of Brownsville is just amazing. She's, okay, what can I do for you? Because my city wants this, my city wants that, and yeah, it's relentless. And she's been a true asset of Brownsville. If Brownsville could have a financial statement, she would be on there. She would be that strong. Quite an asset that we're losing. I hope she stays in touch and perhaps once still helps us out here and now and again. But an amazing person, just a refreshing person to work with.
Yeah, very innovative, always brainstorming solutions, and part of the energy that, as we've been calling them off air, some of the economic leaders in the area, some of the young guns in the area at economic development and leadership, and the crown jewel. I would call it the crown jewel of the hotels that you own in the area, the Embassy Suites in Brownsville. That's coming up. So describe that facility. I guess near future, folks will be able to go on top and go enjoy some rocket launches from Brownsville. But it's much more than that, and a bigger vision for the city of Brownsville. So tell me about that Embassy Suites that we've been celebrating of late that's coming up in Brownsville.
Yes, yes, Ajay. This will be our third Embassy Suites, second one in the Valley. 168 rooms or 168 suites. We'll have a meeting space in excess of 15,000 square feet. Um, it's a wonderful facility with a huge swimming pool with a lazy river in it. And this was one of the suggestions from Helen Ramirez. She's saying like my city needs more than just a hotel. We need conference facilities. We need leisure. We need a SpaceX viewing area. And she had a list of demands. And thankfully, every one of them makes perfect sense in that particular market.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't have seen that had she not mentioned all those things to us in our various meetings.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is just more than a hotel. Anything, any function that we want to have, any convention, any meetings that we want to attract to Brownsville will now be possible. And the hotel will also have a first-class restaurant, a satellite bar, a Zen garden. We've tried to squeeze as much as we possibly can in that triangle between Pablo Casell, Morrison,
Okay.
and Spring Mart. Yeah.
When will it be open, Mayor?
We're looking at an opening exactly 23 months from now is
Okay.
the schedule. So December of 2028 is when we anticipate having a ribbon cutting, and we expect Helen to be there with us in the front row,
Okay. All right.
helping us cutting that ribbon.
Yeah, and enjoying the lazy river as well. I'd like to see a picture. I wonder what that lazy
Uh,
river and pool
yeah,
experience would be.
I'll share some renderings once we get the renderings all finished for the
Okay.
lazy river part. We're still working on exactly what features to have in there.
Nice.
So yeah, love to
Yeah, we'll
share
put
that with you.
those. Yeah, we'll put those online if you wish. Former South Padre Island Mayor Barry Patel, my guest on the special broadcast where we honor our city manager for Brownsville, Helen Ramirez, who will be exiting her position at the city and has been part of that team. Some of those folks, tip of the spear, helping our city absorb the economic opportunities and prosperity that we've seen of late. Of course, that massive, wonderful new Embassy Suites coming to Brownsville here in pretty much near future. Any other major projects that you want to announce before we take inventory of some of the properties we have for Christmas? I want to make sure to highlight that as well, Mayor.
Yeah, we're looking to do a LiveSmart by Hilton in McAllen, about 100 units. It's a long stay hotel. It's a new product. It's a new concept by Hilton, and this would be only the fourth one in the country that's going to be built. And they have many in the pipeline, but that's something that we're looking forward to breaking ground in maybe mid 2027.
Just curious, Harlingen area, with all this energy being created by, I got a lot of folks in business who are saying, yeah, we're talking data center already, and thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in investment. Just curious, have you considered the Harlingen area or hotel space near future?
We really haven't looked at Harlingen much. Harlingen does have a nice Hilton Garden Inn that the city helped put together with a group out of Dallas, and that's pretty much saturates that market. So yeah.
We'll wait for the cement to dry on that big project for them. Obviously, we know with thousands of people getting employment there and all the contractors building that massive center. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Oh my goodness, the economic growth in the area, Mayor. Brownsville probably has to be a site that you're still looking at, or the greater Brownsville area, with Elon Musk doing his thing with 4,000, 5,000 people, and LNG 4,000, 5,000 people, and about 10,000 more for the next 12, 18 months. Combine both of them and billions of more in investment. There's a prime opportunity for more investment in hotels at the coast, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I think, but one does have to feed a specific demographic and a specific market.
Okay.
And the kind of hotels that Brownsville now begs for are the upper range of hotels, and yeah, there's a lot of. I would say Brownsville is right now the epicenter of economic development in the Rio Grande Valley, and at some point, yes, I think there will be more product coming in as the market demands, and it's good that the full service market is slightly behind the demand, which is a good thing because yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Demand. Okay, there's demand. Let's build it now. Barry Patel, former mayor of South Padre Island. Mayor, real quick, the list of properties that you have. I know you got some special coming up for Christmas, much like you did for Thanksgiving with meals and dinner and all those wonderful, family get-together. So, what do you want to announce? What do you tell folks right now?
Well, come on down to South Padre Island. Things are already filling up around the first week of Christmas, which is basically next week. We have many packages that include, uh, you know, things that are food and beverages, and also dolphin watch trips and all kinds of things. So go
Nice.
on and enjoyspi.com. You can't forget that. It's very easy to remember. Enjoyspi, like in southpadreisland.com, and book your vacations. I checked with my managers yesterday. We're already above 60% occupancy. And in the next by end of this week, I think we'll fill up. So now is the time, folks, to go online, enjoyspi.com, and book your packages.
Mayor, as always, thank you for your support and keeping us on air and helping us launch and go out there to the community and do these special broadcasts. And Mayor, former mayor from South Padre, Barry Patel, again, enjoy SPI.com, get those packages, take the family out there, enjoy Christmas on the beach with the mayor and his family at the various properties that they have. And again, a big thank you to our city manager, Helen Ramirez, for being a phone call away all these years and all the work that she's done to help businessman Barry Patel and his family
Yes,
setting up
indeed.
that big hotel in Brownsville. Thank you, Mayor. We'll talk soon. Be blessed.
Yes, sir. Have a
Take
great
care.
week. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
and I did a DBA here in Brownsville. So
Yeah. Did anybody call you from Starbase and say, "Hey, we'd like to"?
people searching and have them come and look. So it worked.
I mentioned at the beginning in the monologue the
So for me, I actually had my best year ever. A lot of people didn't say the same thing, but I spent a lot of time optimizing and focusing on, you know, making my business better and streamlining things, and so that worked out really well for me.
How could you not say you had a good year in Brownsville, Texas? They must be doing something wrong. Demand must be crazy right now. It's going to be even crazier probably in 26 with all
Well,
these thousands of
25,
people.
25 really stabilized.
Okay.
It was a year of kind of a reset for us.
Okay.
We as you recall, the crazy years of 21, 22, and into 23.
2.5% financing.
Is bananas.
Between 2 and 3%.
I mean, across the country it was bananas. Then here it was double.
Okay.
But then as we got into 23, it started cooling down. 24 was kind of a year of stabilization, and 25 was a little bit of stable to decrease, I believe. We've seen a major increase in inventory. A lot of those people that, are moving here aren't here yet. Also, SpaceX has been building a number of homes. They're building very nice executive homes. They're building like multi-family type homes. Now these all belong to SpaceX, but they need to get people on site quick. So, a lot of times the search for a home is very cumbersome. So being able to just put them into a house there is a big deal for them.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a line of prefab homes there.
He did.
He did?
They used to have
Like a Winter Texan Park?
In the beginning, it looked like they had all the vintage Airstream looking. There was like a whole area of just Airstreams.
Oh.
And yeah, that was
like
one of their
Cape
early.
Kennedy with all the vintage little traveler hit your wagon to it.
Pretty much. It's kind of what it looked like. But they were all silver. They're all brand new.
Yeah.
And there was, I don't know how many, but a number of them. But now they're building executive homes. There's some gorgeous homes out there.
Wow.
In fact, a little story I can tell you. I ran into a friend of mine who sells super high-end appliances in McAllen. And I asked him how business was going. He goes, you know what? For me, it's going great. Like, oh, a lot of those big, nice houses in McAllen. He goes, yeah, but I just landed a contract with SpaceX.
Oh.
And we sell them all top tier. So for all those executive homes, they're putting in the finest appliances. Yeah.
Sweet.
Because think about it. They've got to attract high-level people, engineers, literal rocket scientists from, big cities. So they want to create a comfortable environment for them.
And the transplants that they probably already have in California.
Yeah, they're living in real nice homes in California or Denver or wherever, Seattle, right? And so they're trying to create their own little SpaceX world over there, and they're building really nice homes with real high-end appointments.
So the possibility that maybe it will be thousands, I know thousands of people will be coming from SpaceX, and maybe a fraction of that, several hundreds and hundreds, would be the high-end, top-tier producing folks with homes that in California, the homes would sell for $1 million to come over here and
more than $1 million. Yeah. It's funny whenever this young couple came in a few years back when the market was going crazy, and they're like, well, we have $1 million. We want to buy a house. And I'm like, you don't need $1 million in Brownsville. And they're like, no, that's our budget. So I started showing them all these houses that were just ginormous. Now you couldn't really get that same house for $1 million, but you can still get a lot of house for $1 million in Brownsville. Mm-hmm. And I'm showing them these houses, and it was just a couple, and they were like, this is too much house.
And at $1 million, that is an enormous mansion by RGV standards compared to what's in California. Because I'm sure, right?
$1 million in California. So one young kid that came to me, he was fresh out of college, engineer here, rocket scientist again. He came and looked at houses with me, and the first day of looking at houses, we went to the last house, which was a new construction house. It was $280 at the time, which now would probably be about $380. And he walked in, he goes, I want it, Craig. I go, well, I got to do comps for you and everything. He goes, I don't care, just write the offer. And I was like, okay. And he goes, you don't understand. I was about to buy a house in East LA in an area that was, now gentrifying, but it's still kind of, a little rough on the edge. Transitional area. And he said it was going to be $1.2 million for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath renovated ranch that still has bars on the windows. And he said it's really nice because they have to do them up real nice to get people to pay that much. But $1.2 million for a tiny little house. So when he saw the house, he's like, no problem, I'm on it.
Man, I would imagine that a home in Brownsville or McAllen that's running for about $350,000 would probably be like $1.5 million or $2 million.
Easy,
in California,
if not more.
And if they
depending on the neighborhood and everything else,
if these SpaceX engineers live in a home like that, they're gonna have a lot of money left over in the bank when they show.
Well, and that's the thing too. If they're moving out to Starbase and they're getting an executive house as part of their benefits package, they don't have any real overhead.
Amazing.
So but still, they're not building enough houses to accommodate 4,000 people out there. That's a tremendous amount of people.
How long does it take to build a house? Let's say if everything is perfect from beginning to end, 3 months, 6 months?
Well, let's talk about the current situation with building a house in the valley in the U.S. Obviously, with all the ICE activity, that has slowed down dramatically.
You are correct, sir. We've heard from the Builders Association that they had a parade of homes in Hidalgo County the other day, and there were several of the home builders that were not going to.
They weren't ready,
right?
Yeah,
And
or they couldn't sell anyway.
They lost about 20% of their workforce. In fact, the final guys that are cash only, they lost them, so they left a lot of the details they couldn't finish.
I mean, it's we've been addicted to the usage of undocumented labor for a very long time, and so it's going to take businesses a while to reset. And it's going to affect prices. It's going to affect inventory. If inventory is down, then prices are going to go up. So, I mean, we may have another significant price increase with all these factors, right? If we've got 4,000 people coming from SpaceX, we've got, 4 to 5,000 coming with the LNGs, right? Plus, we've got other, things going on. So let's just say we've got 10,000 people coming into the market. Doesn't matter whether they're looking for short-term housing or whatever. They're going to impact the overall inventory.
No, and put another cherry on top, maybe another 2 or 3 data center Harlingen put on top of that, likely in the near future over the 12 to 18 months. Yeah, that's a lot of stress.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of stress on the market. Yeah. And then you factor in builders can't put out enough houses. And so, yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for another increase in prices.
Oh my goodness! To own some land off of Highway 100 or in San Benito or the Harlingen area or anywhere in Brownsville, my goodness, those prices are going to go up. Craig Grove with GRT Realty. Craig is one of the reasons we're here in Brownsville today. Appreciates his support. We're broadcasting from the Special Events Center, City of Brownsville, here celebrating the city manager, Helen Ramirez, the outgoing city manager, Helen Ramirez. We'll have other conversations with economic development around the corner. Gilbert Salinas joining us next hour. The conversation here from Brownsville. Out-of-town prospecting. People call and say, I'd like to sop up some land. I remember years ago, brother, I guess it might have been closer to the beginning of the SpaceX announcement when they came to town. I remember an interview with you. I think Zach did something similar. A lot of people checking in. And, of course, at a time when interest rates were, like, really cheap back then. So is that phone still ringing?
Not the same way, no. It's totally different now. I mean, the speculation has kind of run its course. So, we started seeing people kind of speculating on SpaceX back as far back as 2015, very quietly and slowly. But then the real surge came in 2020, 2021, when they actually started launching rockets. And then Elon's famous tweet put us on the global map. And that was crazy. I mean, there were condos on the island that sold that had been on the market for 4 years, sold overnight.
People called you.
People were calling.
I want to buy something on the island.
Buying them sight unseen, $1 million condos.
Where? Who are those people?
These people from all over the world. Mostly the U.S., but people from Africa, people from lots of different places bought investment properties here.
The director of the airport, Incho, the director of the airport here in Brownsville, he says that when there's a rocket launch, planes from all over the world show up. Elon's friends, multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, they park at Brownsville. Brownsville Airport has more private planes, private jets that amass on the tarmac everywhere at a launch, and then they all disappear.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't even stick around to go to Applebee's.
They ain't going to dinner.
Yeah,
no.
Let's just leave.
They still pay their fees to come to the airport, I suppose. So it is an economic investment. They probably fuel up and stuff. Yeah. So it brings money here. But I mean, it's definitely different.
We need to put like a Chili's at the airport.
Right.
Come in, get some bread. Maybe that ribs before you leave town. Can you imagine that?
But that's one thing that we have seen is a huge surge in high-end restaurants.
Yeah.
You would think there's a lot of money in Brownsville by
the
volume of high-end restaurants.
Going to set something like Riverwalk thing, like with restaurants.
They're building
Tesla
something. What I've heard is they're building something like on the river.
Yeah.
That's going to have like some nice restaurants and a deck looking over the Rio Grande and then over towards SpaceX. So that supposedly is in the works. And I do know some other non-SpaceX affiliated developments that are going up on Boca Chica. So, I mean, there's still a lot of money pouring into Brownsville. I mean, it's probably in the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of development.
My friend Craig Grove with GRT Realty. We're talking about the white-hot real estate market, the explosion in economic activity here at Brownsville. Brownsville is driving the Valley economy. Cameron County is driving the Valley economy. And if you had, let's say, no limits, money was not an issue, Craig. and you could invest right now, land or properties, or build a specific type of structure, either more apartments or condos, or maybe even the multi-million-dollar mansions that they got the money for. Well, they live in California, they can buy a mansion for $750,000 or $1 million bucks. Something like what would you buy? What would you invest in?
Me, if I had the money to invest at that level, I would probably build nice townhomes near SpaceX. So executive level trim, affordable rents, for those people. It'd be targeted at them.
Let's basic question. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Can you build something like that near SpaceX?
Not
like
near.
Where
I mean, by
can you?
near, I mean like
Up the highway? Like,
in Brownsville.
Yeah, 10 miles up the highway.
Because not everybody wants to live at Starbase. It's attractive, but not everybody wants to live there. So I would build, right before you run out of town in Brownsville, where there's starting to be more retail and stuff like that. I'd find a lot, develop it, maybe something with the Resaca, and build with, nice higher end townhomes that I could rent out for, $2,500, $3,000 a month. That would have, car chargers, a little bit of a community amenities like a pool and a clubhouse, something that feels executive, but also, not over the top.
Yeah, those communities are probably already brewing, and somebody's looking.
I'm sure. Actually, a guy called me from California, and I was showing him land to do something just like that.
Okay.
And I showed him a gorgeous piece of land, but he ended up doing something else. But there's still opportunities like that.
Let's talk meat and potatoes for buyers and sellers. For the sellers, recommendations from your office. Sellers in Brownsville, sellers in Harlingen. Let's look at those two different markets in Cameron County.
Okay, well, it's pretty much universal. For sellers, I mean, number one, staging and pricing and getting a good agent are so important. I mean, it doesn't matter when you're trying to sell your home. Except for it's even more important now. The first thing you want to do is consult with a good agent. So go look on, Google reviews, Zillow reviews, Realtor.com. Look at a few different platforms and find a good real estate agent. Don't just go with your cousin's friend, okay? That's always a mistake that I see people make down here because they go with who they know. But really, you should be looking for people who are experienced and skilled. That's the first thing. Second thing is make sure that they give you clear advice on staging, on getting the house ready, doing little make-ready repairs. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but the house needs to look good. And then make sure professional photography, virtual staging if necessary, and finally, listen to and work with your agent on pricing. I mean, you hired them as a consultant.
There we go.
So, obviously you want to share your opinion, but if they give you some numbers, you need to really consider that because at the end of the day, that's their job. That's what they do every day.
In 30 seconds for the buyers, what would you recommend?
Buyers, same thing. First of all, find yourself a good buyer's agent and make sure they're experienced. Look at their reviews. Look at what they can do.
Which in your case is both. You can work with buyers and sellers.
Yeah, of course. And my whole team. Secondly, you want to find a good mortgage lender, preferably someone local, someone who knows the valley and knows how to deal with our issues. And listen to your lender and listen to your buyer's agent, and then focus on houses that fit your range, but that you're comfortable with the payments, and go from there.
Website, real quick, website.
For me, you can find my company at grtrealty.net.
grtrealty.net. Or the Starbase one too, right?
Yeah, but I don't really use that.
grtrealty.net.
It's a lot easier too.
Thank you, Craig, for having us over, brother.
Thank you.
And great success in 2026.
All right. Glad to be here.
This is The Drive Home. This is Newstalk 710 KURV from Brownsville.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology that makes up the amazing Genesis vehicle lineup. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis GV80 with an impressive 0.99% APR for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com.
We're out of bottled water again.
That's nuts. I just bought a case of water last time I went shopping.
I'm not drinking tap water.
We need a better solution.
Call Culligan.
Hey, Culligan man.
Stop buying little bottles of water at the store. Our Culligan drinking water system makes an almost unlimited supply of fresher, cleaner water that tastes pure. It's bottled water without the bottles. For better water, go to CulliganRGV.com or call 956-399-1780.
The holidays are here, and at Zen Asian Bistro in McAllen, we're giving you more reasons to smile through shopping, decorating, and busy nights. Right now at Zen, every Monday through Thursday, all day long, kids 10 and under eat free with the purchase of an adult entree at regular price. That means you can treat yourself to fresh, made-to-order sushi rolls, delicious Chinese food, crispy tempura,